Hello everyone, how you doing? It's Chris Quinn, going live here for the Sunday Blues. So if you're just tuning in, grab a guitar. Whether you're watching this with me live or if you're re-watching this later, welcome to this guitar lesson. And today we're doing a lesson on the blues. As always, it's the Sunday Blues, but we're doing a lesson. I'm doing a lesson for you if you're a beginner when it comes to the blues. Even if you're a beginner when it comes to playing guitar, check out this lesson I'm about to teach. Grab a guitar and I'll show you the first lesson that I learned when it came to playing the blues. And I was shown this and I went away. I practiced for actually for the next 20 years. I'm still practicing, still learning. But no, I went away and messed around for a few hours, a few days. I just remember what happened. I'll tell you the story of what happened, if you like. But before I do, I just want to make sure, first of all, you can hear me. So please, as always, hey Kenny, sound is good. Thanks so much, mate. I was going to say, as always, I just want to know the sound is okay. And Kenny already preempted me, so that's good. So yeah, I'll tell you the little story of how I took this lesson myself and how it changed my life. I'd been playing the guitar for, good to know RD, thanks man, on you, it's working well. I'm streaming in different places around the internet right now, so wherever you're watching, welcome, and thanks for the comments. Don't forget, if you want to share this, it always helps me spread the word for these lessons. Obviously, I don't get paid for doing this online, these streaming things. So if you want to share it, that will help spread the word a little bit. So, what was I going to say? Yeah. So I was sitting. I'd been playing the guitar for about, I don't know, it was definitely weeks, possibly days, so not a long time. I was around 14 years old. I'd got my mate's guitar, Nev, in Shrewsbury, where I live, and I kind of hijacked. He had a few guitars. I didn't have any because, long story, I didn't have any guitars in the house. Even though I grew up with instruments, at that time we had no guitars. So I borrowed my mate Nev's classical guitar. A cheap old nylon string, you know, a 50 quid guitar, which I kind of love still, actually. This, by the way, is a steel string. It looks like a nylon string. People always ask, but it is a steel string. I was sitting there by the river Severn, which is the river that runs through Shrewsbury. It goes all the way down to Wales and out at the Severn estuary. I was sitting by the weir with the guitar, playing over and over again the two songs I knew, Country Roads and what else would it have been? Probably an Oasis song or something like that, or a Beatles song. And I knew two or three songs, you know, as you do. I played them over and over again. That's what we do when we learn the guitar. And suddenly, I remember it really vividly, and I've told this story before, but a guy was cycling along on an old bike, and he was wearing a blue mechanic's jumpsuit. We call them jumpsuits in England. I think you call them like dungarees in the States. I don't know what they call them in other countries. So he was wearing this all-in-one zip-up blue suit, you know, and he's cycling along. Me and my mate are sitting there playing the guitar in the day in the sun, and he stopped on his bike and he jumped off a little path by the weir in Shrewsbury. Jumped off his bike and he said, "Oi mate, let me show you something on the guitar." and that's what I'm going to show you now. So if you can play the blues already, I'm almost certain you know this already. So this is a beginner's lesson. So if you do know this, I'm sorry, but I like to teach all levels of player, whether it's new to the guitar or people that have been playing for many years. Today is definitely a beginner's lesson. And it's just the minor pentatonic scale. By the way, starting in just under an hour inside the site on the members Zoom, the weekly Zoom, I'm going to be teaching Need Your Love So Bad, the Peter Green song, Fleetwood Mac, and that's a bit more complex. So if you want to join me there, click the link, sign up if you're not already a member, or if you are, like Kenny, I'll see you in there. So minor pentatonic, I'm going to show you first of all the scale, and then I'm going to show you what you can do with it. And this is exactly what this guy showed me as he jumped off his bike. It took him 10 minutes, showed me that, well, probably less, showed me this little lesson, made sure I could play it, and then he left, and I nearly swore then. Then he cycled off on his bike, and that was that, into the distance. Never saw him again. Big thanks to whoever that was. And then the next couple of days, as I say, I just was like, wow, this is what I wanted. I'd been listening to Eric Clapton, MTV Unplugged. I'd been listening to loads of old blues. I loved, even as a kid, I loved Ry Cooder. I loved all this old kind of blues music, and I would listen to it and never thought I'd be able to play it because it's complicated, you know. I could just about knock out a few. I thought I'll play some Beatles songs, all this stuff. I didn't think I'd be a lead player, but you know, I was shown this, and then the next thing I know, I'm playing the blues, and I'm going to show you now. So if you can't play the blues at all, you know a few cowboy chords, a few open chords, and you want to start playing, stick with me here, and just give it a try, because it's easier than it looks, okay? And it's easier than you think once you know these rules and how to mess with them. So the simple scale is 0, open bass string. I'm using a pick. You could use your thumb as well if you want. Oh, do you like my new hat, by the way? I got it today. Anyway, so open bass string, 3rd fret of the bass string. So open E, 3rd fret of the E. Just try. You could actually almost do a solo with that. Okay, so 0, 3. Next string, 0, 2. Suddenly you see where I'm going with this. It's the blues. 0, 3, 0, 2. Next string, 0, 2. Okay. So they're the first 3 strings. 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2. Super simple. Next string, 0, 2. Okay. So 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2. Then we've done the first 4 strings now. Finally, on the top 2 strings, the thinnest strings, we're going to go 0, 3 and 0, 3. So it's a pattern that repeats. 0, 3 on the bass string and the top 2 strings, and then 0, 2 on the others. Okay? And with those notes, that's kind of all you need to know to start playing the blues. And as I say, that's what I did. I went off with the guitar. I was so happy, and I just sat there, and I was a blues man suddenly at the age of 14. I was playing the blues, you know, and I thought it was the coolest thing of all time, you know. I was suddenly had the guitar in my hands, and I knew, something in me knew, all you've got to do is try and make it sound like you're playing the blues. So, just one more time I'll run through those notes, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what I then figured out to do, okay? So, one more time. 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3. If you need to write that down, maybe write it down. I didn't. I memorized it on the spot. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple pattern. So yeah, as I say, I'd already been listening to some blues music my whole life. You know, I was lucky. We had a very musical family in our household. You know, even the sewing machine was a singer. Sorry, yeah, tumbleweed. So no, so I was lucky. I kind of had heard the blues a lot as I was growing up, and jazz and folk and stuff. So I kind of knew how it should sound, and I knew what to do, and hopefully you do too. And if you don't, here's a bit of advice. So um, let's start on the top string, 3. Okay, 3 off. Next string down, 3 off. Okay, so we'll just repeat that. So 3 off, 3 off. So we're just going down the scale. It's called the minor pentatonic scale. I didn't know that at the time. It probably took me a year for someone to say, oh, by the way, that's the minor pentatonic. It's irrelevant what it's called. What's relevant is you know what to do with your fingers and how it should sound. So, okay, G, the next string, the G, 2 off, then 2 on the D. So we're just going to go down those notes. Now, already, if you just hear what I'm doing, I'm not just playing the notes like a classical music. Not, maybe that's the wrong way of describing it. Like I'm reading it. You know, 3 off, 3 off, 2 off, 2. I'm not doing that. I'm playing it out of time. I'm using my feeling. I'm using the way I want it to sound to play those notes. So I can hang around on certain notes. I can take my time with it and just try and make it sound bluesy. All I'm trying to do is play the blues, okay? And that's what you got to get into your mind. That's the job right now. I mean, I'm overdoing it a bit there. There are all sorts of little tricks you can do. Like on the G, you can do a little bend. Try that. So I'm on the G string, which is the 3rd string from the 3rd thinnest string. So I kind of pick it and then a little bend, or if you struggle to bend it, just hang on that note, then open, and then 2nd fret of the D. And if you can do a hammer on there, then it sounds cool as well. You know, there are loads of little hammer-on ideas, bends you can do on many of the strings. Okay, so that's one idea. Already we're just trying to play the blues. Imagine you're sitting under a tree, you're looking at the sunshine, and although it's raining now, back in England, of course, we had a few days of sun, but now it's raining again. So there we go. So imagine you're in the sun, you've got a nice view, and trying to play the blues. So from there we can go down to the next string, 2 open on the A, and then again, so that's 2 off on the A string. A nice little thing you can do on the bass string is 3rd fret of the bass, then open. So that's the basics of the blues in the key of E. That's the first lesson you need to know. What you should do is just sit down with a guitar on your own for an hour or 2 or a week or a month or 10 years, as long as you want. So I often just pick up the guitar and the first thing I do is start noodling around the blues. That's the beauty of it. You make it up. So one thing you can do is you can try and go in different directions. So you might go down 4 notes of that scale like this, but then you could go back. So I'll play that slowly. I went down 4 notes, 3 off, 3 off. Randomly I'm going to go back, 3, open 3, and then whatever next, you know, you have to make up patterns. If you do something that sounds nice like this, like that bend for example, repeat it. The fact that you're sitting there watching this video, I appreciate that you are, so thanks very much. Hope you're enjoying the lesson. But the fact that you're sitting there watching this makes me realize that you know how it's supposed to sound, and you probably have it in you to go away and do that if you're not already. Of course, this, as I say, this is an elementary lesson for people. So if you're an advanced player, you might be thinking, blimey, this is beneath me. But everyone starts somewhere, and as I say, I was there back in the day, and always remember that day as it changed my life. So hopefully, if you're new to the blues and the guitar and you've just watched this video, and hopefully I really hope it has the same effect for you, and you go on and you enjoy it and you have some fun playing the blues. Of course, this is the very beginning, and it's a massive subject, and it's what I specialize in teaching, and I've dedicated a large part of my life to it since then, and I love it. So if you did enjoy this lesson and you do want to know more, check out my website, acousticmasterclass.com. You can get inside with a free trial if you're not already a member. We've got some wonderful people inside, like Kenny, who's commenting here right now, out in the States. We've got people in the UK, all over the world actually, who are joining me for live lessons. We do about 6 per month. We've got a very exciting thing happening next week actually, which I'll be revealing tomorrow via email. But yeah, as I say, if you do want more, get inside and I'll be able to help you personally. When you join, I'll be in touch and we'll set up a one-to-one. I can see where you are and set you up with a plan and get you on board. But there's some exciting things coming up in the next weeks and months inside the site for students to improve, and that's what this website's all about and this platform is all about. Anyway, thanks so much. I've got to get prepared for the lesson now. Need Your Love So Bad by Peter Greenwell. He made it famous. That's starting quite soon for members. So thanks for tuning in. As always, Sunday Blues, and I'll see you next time. I just got to figure out how to end this. All right, yeah. Thanks again. See you next time.